Well, good morning and welcome to this morning's reflection. And this morning, we're sitting before a warming fire. It is rather a cold day today. And so as we sit here, let's just take a moment to be still. And to be conscious of the loving presence of God, and to surrender to that presence. This week I would like to look at the life and teachings of Thomas Merton. And so sit for a moment in stillness and imagine the arc of a single human life, one marked by longing, wondering, and final surrender. This is Thomas Merton's life. Not a straight line, but a pilgrimage of the heart. Merton's early years were restless. He moved across continents, between schools, and between identities. He tasted the brightness of art, the noise of youth, and the illusions of freedom. And yet, beneath all of it, something deeper stirred, an ache that whispered that life was more than distraction, more than achievement, more than self. Merton would later call this ache the mercy of God pursuing him. When he finally stepped into the monastery at Gethsemane, it was not the end of his searching. It was the beginning of learning how to listen. In the silence of the cloister, surrounded by the ordinary tasks of monks and the slow turning of the liturgical hours, Merton discovered the spaciousness of his own soul. He began to touch that quiet center where God has always been waiting. Merton's life reminds us that contemplation is not a technique, it's a way of being. It is the willingness to stand unguarded before God, to let masks fall, to let the heart be seen. Merton's writings reveal someone who offered God not a polished self, but a real one, conflicted, wounded, yearning, unfinished. In that honesty, he found grace. In the depths of solitude, he began to feel the heartbeat of the world. His cell did not hide him from humanity. It opened him to it. He discovered that the more one descends into the silence of God, the more one becomes connected to every living thing. And this is why he could write about war, injustice and dignity with such tenderness, because in silence he learned that we are all held in the same divine gaze. There is a moment in Merton's story. It was his revelation on a Louisville street corner, and this feels like a turning point in the spiritual history of the world. Suddenly, in the midst of ordinary passers-by, he felt a wave of luminous love, an overwhelming certainty that every person he saw was shining with God's glory. Not because they were holy, not because they were good, but simply because they were. As they were, because God made them. And this is the contemplative vision, to see reality as God sees it. Merton's later years unfolded like a widening circle. His solitude deepened, but his heart expanded. And he believed that all people who truly seek God meet eventually in a shared silence where words fall away and only presence remain. His death came suddenly, yet his life leaves a lingering invitation. And so let us sit for a moment. Where is your soul being called into deeper silence? What masks might be gently falling away? What would it mean to see people not as problems to be solved or roles to be judged, but as beings walking around like the sun, shining? Merton teaches us that contemplation is not escape. It is communion. It is entering the world's suffering with a softened heart. It is holding the world before God with compassion. It is discovering that every breath is gift and every person beloved. Let your heart rest